this way.
Oh, I'm so glad we ran into you.
The first time I saw this scene in the Pixar's wonderful movie Inside Out, I knew it would make a wonderful lesson about the history of abstract art. Let's take a look.
No, but Joy, this is abstract thought.
What are you talking about? I go in here all the time. It's a shortcut, you see? D-A-N-G-E-R, shortcut. I'll prove it to you. Look at me. I'm closer to the station because I'm taking the shortcut.
Let's go around. This way.
Almost there.
If you want to walk the long way, go for it. But Riley needs to be happy. I'm not missing that train. Bing Bong knows what he's doing. He's part dolphin. They're very smart.
Well, I guess.
What I tell you, you'll be at headquarters in no time.
Oh!
Hey, would you look at that?
Whoa! What's happening?
No, they turned it on.
Never seen this before.
Ah!
My face! My beautiful face! No!
What is going on?
We're abstracting. There are 4 stages. This is the first. Non-objective fragmentation.
So the first phase is non-objective fragmentation. So what does that mean? Let's break it down. So first part is non-objective. It's just a fancy way of saying abstract. Objective would be as if you were painting an actual object, for instance, a stapler or a bowl of fruit or a McMuffin. Now, non-objective is abstract as in you're not necessarily painting a real object. Now, fragmentation just means that you're breaking it up into parts. So you can see Bing Bong here has been broken up into his little parts in different ways. Now, there's a pretty famous artist that does this, Picasso. He's most famous for his Cubist period. Cubism was his idea of breaking up the way he drew things and showing it from multiple angles at the same time. For instance, this face here, you can see this eye is pointed straight at you, but this eye here is pointed to the side. This nose is pointed to the side, and even though these mouths are pointed to the side, they kind of combine together to make one mouth. Also, we're seeing the ear, even though that should be on the side of the head. So he's taking a normal object, breaking it up, and reassembling it in an interesting way from different angles at the same time. Now, Picasso is probably the most well-known person that works in this style, but there's other people too, like this guy here, Marcel Duchamp. This is his famous painting, Nude Descending a Staircase, number 2. And it is non-objective fragmentation in a different way. This one shows this person walking down the staircase. It's an abstract staircase, of course, but you can sort of see the impression of it down there. You can see the legs are sort of swinging there. There's the hips and the arms and the head, putting it back together in a more interesting and exciting way. Okay, let's see what happens next.
All right, do not panic. What is important is that we all stay together. Oh!
We're in the second stage. We're deconstructing.
I can't feel my legs. Oh, there they are.
Deconstruction. Poor Bing Bong. He's been deconstructed. Now, the deconstructivist movement in art isn't really just about breaking things apart. It's about rebuilding them in new and exciting ways. Let's look at some deconstructivist art. So there's a painting that's a deconstructivist painting that's a person's face that's been broken apart and then reassembled in a different way. Now, even though this has been broken apart and reassembled, you can probably tell who it is. Can you guys tell? Yeah, it's Barack Obama, but he's been deconstructed. Now, deconstructivist also goes into other forms of art. Like you can see this is a deconstructivist shirt. So they've taken the idea of what is a shirt. Well, it's a thing. It's got cuffs and it's got collars. And well, why don't we break that all apart and put it back together a different way? Why does it have to have 1 cuffs? Why not 4? Why not a whole bunch of buttons and shirts all combined together? What about this building? Well, buildings are normally square and they got windows on the side. Oh, well, let's break it apart. Well, maybe it could be rotating and twisting and having windows wrapped around it. So you can see deconstructivist can go in lots of different art forms. Oh, let's see what happens next.
Oh, there they are.
Come here, me.
Ow! We gotta get out of here! Ow! Before we're nothing but shape and color! Ow! We'll get stuck here forever!
Stuck? Why do we come in here?
I told you, it's a shortcut.
The train!
No, we're 2-dimensional. That's stage 3.
We're getting nowhere.
Depth! I'm lacking depth.
Come on.
Two-dimensional art is kind of an interesting part of abstract art. For a long time, artists were trying to create the illusion of 3D space, especially in times like the Renaissance with atmospheric perspective. They were trying to make the paintings look like a window so that you were looking through it into another 3D world. Now, abstract art kind of tried to throw that out, just get rid of it. Why pretend like a painting is a window when it's not? It's a flat thing you hang on the wall. So let's make our art flat. Let's not pretend. So they started pushing forward towards flatness. I guess you can't get much more flat than this guy right here. This is Henri Matisse. He wanted things to be so flat, he even cut them out of paper. That's not even a painting. That's just large pieces of paper, cut them out and glued them together to make these works of art that were completely flat. Oh, let's see what happens next.
Come on! We can't fit!
Oh no, we're non-figurative! This is...
So non-figurative, you can see they are no longer look like the people that they were before. They're just abstract shapes. I have two abstract paintings up here. The one on the left is figurative abstract, as in there are people in there. You can see this is called the wedding party, so you can see there's the bride, she's dancing, there's her feet, there's a guy playing guitar, there's another guy over here playing a drum, and this is non-figurative. It is a pure abstract painting that is not meant to represent anything other than itself. So even though there is abstract art, you can kind of break it into two styles, figurative and non-figurative. Let's play a game, shall we? I'm going to put up a piece of art, and you guys can decide whether it is abstract figurative or abstract non-figurative. The teacher can pause the video, and you guys can take a vote. Let's take a look. So here's my first one by Jean Moreau. Let's see. What do you guys think? Okay, the answer is abstract figurative. Yeah, most people say that. You can kind of tell that there's figures in there, although you may not be able to tell what it is, because it is actually, this is a person, this is a dog, and this here, right here, are some birds. I know, look exactly like birds. So they are abstract birds, abstract dogs, and abstract people, but they are also figurative. Okay, let's try another one. So, is this abstract figurative or abstract non-figurative? What do you think? Abstract non-figurative. Yeah, that one is pretty easy too. There's definitely not any figures hiding in there. That is definitely a black square, which is why this painting was called Black Square. Actually, a really interesting piece. I should make a whole video just about this guy, but let's move on for now. All right, what do you guys think? And the answer is abstract figurative. A lot of people can't tell this one. This one's a little bit tougher. Now, sometimes you're not sure what it is. You can look at what the artist titled it. And this one was titled The Yellow Curtain. So you can sort of see this is like a window with a yellow curtain. Okay, we got a Kandinsky painting up there. How many people think that is figurative or non-figurative? And the answer is abstract non-figurative. Now, even though a lot of people say this looks like things, this looks like, oh, that looks like a mountain, there's a sun, or there you see a city or buildings. If you know the name of the title of this is just composition number 8, which means he was just playing around with shapes and colors because he liked playing around with shapes and colors. It wasn't meant to be a mountain or a city or anything. It is a purely abstract piece of art. All right. Henri Matisse again. This is another of his cut paper ones. What do you think? Abstract figurative. Again, it helps if you know the title of this one. This one is called The Snail. I know, yeah, it doesn't look like a snail, but it is an abstract expression of that snail. I guess you could sort of see the twisty part, and there's the little snaily part down there. My favorite gastropod. Let's watch the end of the baseball.
Last stage! We're not gonna make it! Wait, we're two-dimensional. Fall on your face! Oh.
Stop! Stop! Oh, no! You said there was a shortcut.
I did, but Wow, we should not have gone in there. That was dangerous. They really should put up a sign.
How long to the next train?
Who knows? But don't worry, there's another station. That way. The train always stops there, right before it goes to headquarters.
All right, so for your assignment today, you're going to pick one of the following styles and create an abstract piece of art in your book. You're going to write a few sentences about the decisions you made making your piece of art. What type of abstract art did you make? Figurative or non-figurative? Where were you thinking when you made the art? So you have a couple of options. You can do cubism, like Picasso style. You could do cut paper, or you could do purely non-figurative. Okay. If you do have time, you get done with one early, come show it to the teacher, and you might be able to have time to do one of the other styles. But do take your time with this. All right. Good luck.